Hello and welcome to S24 Rundown. I am Gloria Atta and here's our news in brief. To start with, President Bola Tinubu has officially clinched the All Progressives Congress APC presidential ticket for the 2027 election cycle after a sweeping victory across the country, pulling in a massive 10.9 million votes. Delivering his acceptance speech at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center in Abuja, the president firmly defended his administration's trajectory, stating that his aggressive economic reforms are non-negotiable and essential to modernizing the nation. Tinubu strongly dismissed his political rivals, declaring that he would not allow an opposition with no clear vision to roll back the progress made or take Nigeria backward. Moving on to security, operatives of the Zone 2 Command of the Nigeria Police Force have dealt a major blow to international drug trafficking after intercepting a massive shipment of Canadian Loud, a high-potency synthetic strain of cannabis valued at 7.8 billion naira. In a remarkable display of institutional integrity, the arresting officers flatly rejected a staggering 500 million naira cash bribe offered by the syndicate to compromise the case and let the cargo slide. The suspected kingpin of the operation has been taken into custody, and police officials confirm that investigations are being widened to dismantle the broader network. And on a sad note, security forces have launched a massive manhunt in Kwara State following a deadly weekend assault by armed bandits who violently targeted a local community during morning prayers. The attackers opened fire directly at a local prayer ground, killing 3 worshippers on the spot before moving on to set the palace ablaze and abducting at least 15 villagers into nearby forests. The Kwara State Police Command has deployed specialized tactical teams and anti-banditry units to the area to track down the perpetrators, restore order, and rescue the kidnapped victims safely. Last-minute panic has hit Nigeria's education sector as internal worker unions at the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, threatened to down tools today over unresolved welfare grievances. The strike threat has injected extreme 11th-hour tension into the academic calendar, leaving thousands of students and parents anxious about potential disruptions to the crucial West African Senior School Certificate examination. While the regional examination body has issued strong assurances that the exams will proceed seamlessly as scheduled, emergency talks are ongoing behind closed doors to avert a total shutdown of testing centers. Finally, on the global front, the US and Iran are close to a breakthrough deal in Beijing to end hostilities and lift the naval blockade on the vital Strait of Hormuz. Backed by Pakistani mediation, the agreement establishes a solid framework and will trigger a 60-day window to finalize operational details and nuclear protocols. News of the reopening has sent global oil prices sliding, while international stock markets have surged. Shipping lines are already preparing to return to the crucial trade route, signaling immediate relief for global supply chains crippled by months-long conflict. Now moving on to business news with Hadiza Galadima. Hello, Hadiza.
Thank you, Gloria. Good afternoon and welcome to your business update on S24 Rundown. Today is Monday, May 25th, 2026, and I am Hadiza Galadima. Here are your top business stories making headlines in Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. We begin in Nigeria, where the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has filed a lawsuit against the federal government, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, and several oil marketers over the continued issuance of petroleum import licenses. The case currently before the Federal High Court in Lagos seeks to stop the renewal of import permits for premium motor spirit, automotive gas oil, and aviation fuel. According to the refinery, continued importation undermines local refining efforts and affects market competitiveness. However, industry stakeholders and marketers insist fuel importation remains necessary to avoid monopoly and ensure national energy security. Amid the legal battle, the Dangote refinery recently reduced its domestic jet fuel price and introduced naira-based transactions as well as credit facilities for local airlines. Still in Nigeria, cooking gas prices have surged again across the country, adding further pressure on household spending. Retail prices for liquefied petroleum gas now range between 1,400 naira and 1,500 naira per kilogram in several states. This means many Nigerians now pay as much as 22,000 naira to refuel the standard 12.5 kilogram cylinder. Market operators blame the increase on foreign exchange challenges, rising supply costs, and instability in the global energy markets. Experts warn that continued price increases may force more households to return to firewood and other unsafe cooking alternatives. Now to the rest of Africa. African leaders and financial experts meeting at the African Development Bank Summit in Congo are calling for stronger homegrown financing solutions to tackle the continent's growing economic challenges. The discussion comes amid concerns over declining foreign aid and rising debt pressures across African countries. Leaders at the summit are pushing for increased investments through pension funds, sovereignty wealth funds, and domestic financing systems to reduce Africans' dependency on external borrowing. Analysts say the move could help strengthen long-term economic stability and infrastructure development across the continent. And now finally, on the global scene, oil prices dropped in the international market following reports of progress in talks between the United States and Iran. The development has eased fears of possible supply disruptions in the global energy markets. Energy analysts say improving relations between both countries could help stabilize crude oil prices and reduce inflationary pressures in several economies around the world. The decline in oil prices also expected to impact fuel costs and transportation expenses globally if the trend continues. And that's it on your business update today. Thanks for watching. Do not go anywhere. Right after the break is our newspaper review with Gloria and Abubakar Turaki. Don't go anywhere. Do stay with us and have a pleasant day ahead.
Hadiza, and welcome back from that break. Now we'll be moving on to the newspaper review with Abubakar Turaki. Abubakar, how are you today? You're looking too gentle today. Tell us the secret quickly. How was your weekend?
It was fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was fine. We saw what the ruling party did that favored them because it did not favor Nigerians.
So I think that is the reason for this sober mood we're seeing.
But sometimes it's like some people are losing hope in the current political dispensation in the country.
Okay, so before we really talk about the hope Nigerians are losing or gaining, let's just quickly go to the business of the day. And we're going to begin with our first newspaper, and it is coming from the leadership. And it says, Tinubu wins APC primary with 10.9 million votes. Says rivals lack alternative vision. So you've already started, so just go on and tell us what. So just go on and tell us about, what you think.
Well, thank you so much. I think we need to first congratulate the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu
Okay.
for the wonderful coronation. Because if you look at the members of the ruling party, I recently saw that they have almost 12.5 million registered members of that party. And yesterday what we saw, almost 11 people were actually the one that voted for him.
Okay, just sorry to cut you short. We are just going to quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the business of the day. Stay with us.
The waters of Lagos, Victoria Island Lagoon became the stage for history as the E1 Electric Power Boat Championship held its first ever race in Africa. Against a backdrop of modern high-rise building and luxury waterfront development, teams from around the world gathered in Nigeria's commercial capital for a race combining speed, sustainability, and spectacle. Visitors praised the organization of the event, saying it presented a different image of Lagos, one defined not by congestion, but by innovation, hospitality, and opportunity.
It's a very successful event, especially considering, the usual conditions that we have in Lagos, things such as traffic, the chaos, the population alone is already an issue, usually would be an issue. But I think it was very well executed. Everything was professionally done. There wasn't a hassle getting here or being in here. It was very enjoyable.
Team Brazil seized the moment, taking pole position before securing victory in the race with pilots Leva, Miller, Hagen, and Timmy Hansen steering the electric powerboat to first place.
This win in Lagos for Team Brazil is very important. It's the best result so far in the season, so it's amazing.
The Lagos race is widely credited to the former Chelsea and Ivory Coast footballer Didier Drogba, whose team Drogba Global Africa finished third on the podium after lobbying to bring the championship to Africa. Organizers say the E1 series is not only about racing, but also about promoting sustainable technology and showcasing waterfront cities capable of hosting global sporting events.
incredibly important to us to bring a race to Africa. Obviously, Didier is one of our team owners, and he was very passionate about bringing the race. Enormous for us to bring, the technology, the sort of messages about sustainability that we're bringing to Africa, and to celebrate, honestly, like we are now, just a party. That's what we want to bring. We're a hospitality, lifestyle event experience. So, and we've been welcomed so unbelievably well here in Lagos. And, we want to look to do many more races here in Lagos going forward.
For many spectators, the event offered a glimpse into a new side of Lagos, a city increasingly positioning itself as a destination for international sports, tourism, and entertainment.
I think Lagos has been an amazing city to host us. I'm beyond thankful for everybody who has made this event possible.
As the checkered flag dropped on Africa's first E1 race, Lagos delivered a powerful message that the city is ready for global stage.
Thanks for staying with us. We deeply apologize for that break in transmission. And we're just going to head back to our newspaper in review. Abubakar, how are you?
I'm fine, Gloria.
I like the spirits this time. So let's just quickly go into the business of the day. We are going to be starting from our first newspaper, and that is The Leadership. And it says, Tinubu wins APC primary with 10.9 million votes, says rivals lack alternative vision. So let's just quickly hear your thoughts about the outcome of the just concluded APC primaries.
I wonder when we are going to get a free, fair, credible, and acceptable way of selecting leaders in this country. Because ever since when the ruling party started on internal party primaries, we saw the kind of irregularities that has been going on, which led to outcry all over social media and even some defection, underground defection among the members of the ruling party. And yesterday, or day before yesterday, within a broad daylight, we saw that the president actually clinched the APC presidential flag bearer in 2027 with a huge number of almost 11 million votes.
Landslide victory.
It's just a landslide victory. Fantastic. And it has come to our notice that the members of the ruling party, they have almost 12 million card-carrying members in that political party. So, well, congratulations to the president, and we believe he is going to put it at the back of his mind that he is going to the secondary election, and most of the thing that he has been that is going on in his own party primaries will find a way of at least amicably resolving the issues, because he is going into the secondary election with some other people, maybe Atiku Abubakar or Amechi or Hayatuddin or even Konkoso and Obi, because the opposition are currently doing their own primaries right away, which subsequently in the evening we may likely know who is going to be the flag bearer of that political party. But these are all political arrangements from the state governors, because it is expected that every state governor, the way things are going in this country, it is expected that for him to deliver the state to the president, eyeing a political compensation, maybe if the ruling party come back 2027. But I doubt if unanimously members of the ruling party will come and vote for the president that has almost 10 million, 11 million votes. It is very, very impossible.
Okay, so let's just go back to the statement that the president made, saying that his opposition, they lack vision. Do you think that this is political confidence, or, you know, it's just him trying to spotlight himself there?
With due respect to what the president said, of course the opposition may like alternative vision. With the way things are going, allegedly the emasculation of all opposition parties. We have seen how internal conflict has been taking place in most of the opposition party, ranging from PDP, ADC, NDC, SDP, PRP, which many Nigerians are alleging the ruling party of igniting that internal conflict. In a situation whereby they were not even allowed to carry out their own democratic process, how can they have another alternative? They are always battling with some internal conflict, which to many Nigerians it was fabricated by the ruling party for them to create division ahead of 2027. But if we are to be honest and transparent to us, I doubt if the ruling party will see the light of the day ahead of 2027. Because when the ruling party came into power, Nigerians were living decently. Nigerians were sleeping with their 2 eyes closed. Nigerians were able to at least afford 3 square meals a day. Nigerians were able to at least fuel their own tank. Nigerians were able to travel freely in this country, cut across the region, from northeast to northwest, from southeast to southwest. But now tell me, when the ruling party came into power, everything deteriorated.
But you know, the ruling party actually argues that they are doing such a good job. I remember, I think yesterday or the day before, I was watching one of the ambassadors. He was on a sister television station, and he was talking about how this government, this administration has come up with a lot of economic policies, and he said that, you know, the Nigerian economy has improved tremendously. But I don't want us to go deeply to start talking about politics, to start talking about business. So what lessons now do you think that other opposition parties can learn? Because the clock keeps ticking, and, you know, the election day, that D-Day, keeps inching closer. So what lessons do you think that political parties that are serious about standing a chance on the ballot next year, what do you think they should be looking at?
They should find a way of putting their house into order and find a way of fulfilling their own promises to what they are going to promise to Nigerians. Because I wish we have a tall line that is open here. Maybe some outsiders will come, so that we can ask them how are they coping with the current reforms that are being brought by the current administration. I believe Nigerians are tired of what is going on in the country. So they should find a way of at least amicably promising Nigerians what they are going to do if they were able to at least send this government out of power. Before the coming of APC government, was it not PDP that was ruling?
Of course.
It was PDP, which I believe APC will not rule for life. I believe sooner or later, 2027 or 2021, we may likely have another different set of political party to steer the affairs of this country. We are all feeling the impact of this government. Of course, they have their own positive side that they are doing, but the truth of the matter, as Nigerian does not matter about the theoretical aspect, the chart, the flow, the inflow and exflow of money. What they wanted to see, they wanted to see it on ground. At least Nigerians should go out and at least obtain.
You go to the market.
You go to the market.
Prices of things, you know.
And don't forget, this is the government that actually came on the basis of political deception, because we have never seen it in this country when a Muslim ticket was flagged in this country.
Yeah.
It was when this government that came into power. But now tell me, ever since this government that came into power, did the life of any Muslim change or did the life of any Christian change? Let us just be realistic and analyze things. We are all Nigerians. I think we love this country more than the way politicians love this country, because it is obvious those politicians love the resources that is in this country, but rather we love the country from the bottom of our heart.
And this administration has already told us to expect more, so everyone should brace up.
I doubt if this administration is going to bring any kind of thing that they did not bring in their own first tenure. Rather, we may just have to find a way of coping with them, because there's going to be their own final laugh if miraculously, by virtue of free and fair, or by virtue of election rigging, manipulation, as ballot snatching, as I always said, they come back to power. We are going to see a lot of unbearable reforms that it is only Nigerian that will see the light of the day. Because look at what is currently going on under this administration of President
I'll just summarize it by
Tinubu.
saying that he has told us to expect more. So whether it is good or bad, the Nigerian citizens should decide. So let's move on to our next front page headline, and it says, gunmen kill worshippers, abduct 15 in fresh Kwara horror. And this is from the First Daily newspaper. Now, attacks on places of worship has become a new normal. Every other day, every Sunday, every Friday, you hear about these attacks. What are your thoughts?
Well, these are the kind of things what the presidency is saying or what the ruling party is saying. Because I could remember when this ruling party came, the issue of insurgency, it was only in one part of this country, which was the northern eastern part of the country, which comprises of Borno, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Yobe, and Yola. But now tell me the single part of this country that is living in peace. I doubt if there is.
And it's very sad. So now, do you think that Nigerians are enjoying the freedom of worship? Do you think it's a reality right now?
It may be very difficult because you already made mention in one of your introduction whether Sundays or Fridays attacks are all over. It is beyond Sundays and Fridays. Even now, if you are in your own house, you are not even free from attack.
Yeah, very true.
Somebody
Sadly.
may likely connect with one of your neighbor and come and at least adopt you. The terrible scenario that I saw yesterday, I think I have one conversation with you, how somebody was just deceived and he was later on kidnapped.
Yes.
Look at the level of deterioration in our security sector. And the kidnapping, the attack that happened in Kwara and the attack that happened in Oyo, this is to tell you that this country is not free. Even though whenever it is the political campaign season, the issue of insecurity, especially in the northern Nigeria, used to be in a very tense situation. It was very difficult for us to have a free, successful week without having attack. So I think this is one of the major reasons why our politicians are actually drifting from their own primary responsibility, because it is expected, whether you are a presidential system or whether it is a monarchical system or even military rule, it is expected for every person that is in the helm of the affairs of the government to provide at least security, the protection of life and properties of every individual and every Nigerian. Now tell me, you are a journalist. We already know what is currently going on in this country. Are we really happy the way things are going in this country? Because if you are thinking that today it's not your sibling or it's not your relative that was kidnapped or beheaded, tomorrow, subsequently, you may likely fall the victim.
Yes, yes. And now, we've been talking about policies, we've talked about reforms countless times. We've had guests who have come on the studio, come here to also talk about it. Now, what reforms do you think or do you advise the government to start looking at? And I'm not talking about long-term reforms, because something short-term, something immediate. What direction do you think our politicians, our security agencies should be looking at if indeed we want to put an end to the insecurity that we are experiencing in this country?
I think we have to urge the government that it's high time for us to start practicing what we call fiscal federalism, because most of the security situation that is currently going on at the grassroots level. We need to start practicing fiscal federalism so that we can at least have more control over our own resources. If you have more control over our own resources, I believe we are going to find solutions to the issues that is affecting our own community. And Abuja is a little bit safe where the president is. But if you look at most of the places that are being volatile in nature, it is at the grassroots level. When I mean by grassroots level, I mean at the local government level.
Yes.
But once if we are able to at least, what is the problem that is affecting our community? It is the issue of insecurity. Let us mobilize troops that will at least guard our own properties and resources. Is it the issue of illiteracy? Let us provide adequate education facilities so that we can address our own insecurity.
I have one final question. Now, there have been clamors for Nigerians to have the right to bear firearms. Do you support this?
I quite disagree with that.
Why?
Because it's going to increase the level of insecurity. Because any misagreement that we have between us or between Nigerians, the next is just funeral or burial. That is it.
So that means that you believe that the Nigerian people are not ready, they are not mature enough to bear firearms, even when they need to protect themselves?
You cannot protect yourself because it is expected
that if the government cannot protect you, what should you do?
Then find a way of sending the government out of office and bring somebody that can protect you. Are we trying to live in an anarchy instead of barbarism? Any society that cannot be able to at least control its own security architecture, I think that society does not have any difference with what we call jungle justice. Because assuming you have a little misunderstanding, you have arm, I have arm, what is going to happen? I may likely take your life. And within the next couple of hours, it's going to be a kind of like a burial arrangement or funeral. Then are you trying to tell me that Nigeria is going to be in a state of a failed state that we have been seeing in Afghanistan?
So the solution is, let us just vote.
We should find a way of voting people that will ensure the credibility, the stability, and the continuity of this country. We have been paying the price. I think if we are to be honest with ourselves, we don't need any Muslim ticket to fly. We don't need any Christian ticket to fly. Because if I can borrow from what Usman Danfodio said, that
A society, a just society will survive as long as the leader in that society is doing the needful. But any person, that individual...
And I think that is the attitude every Nigerian should have. We all need to be passionate and continue speaking about these issues. And that's it on the newspaper review today. Up next is S24 Report, coming to you after the break.
Welcome back from that break and welcome to Political Arena on S24 Television. Today, we confront a question many Nigerians are beginning to ask louder than ever before. Are our leaders more focused on politics and election than actual governance? The recent school kidnapping in Oyo State has once again raised serious concerns about insecurity, leadership, and government priorities. While political conversations around future election continue to dominate many headlines, many Nigerians are still wondering why the protection of lives and communities often seems secondary. As parents fear for their children, school ties insecurity, and citizens demand answer, one major issue has remained constant. Has politics started taking precedence over governance? And to help us break this down, I'm joined by our guest, Solomon Tengu Micah.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be sharing insights on leadership, accountability, and insecurity, and the growing debate over whether Nigeria is being overshadowed by politics. And welcome to Political Arena. I am Oniye Shukra. When children are being kidnapped during the day, should politicians be more focused on campaigns, party defections, and 2027 election instead of fixing the actual security problem? The kidnappings in Oriri local government of Oyo State has raised concerns whether our leaders are just concerned about securing the second tenure instead of just focusing on the actual problems we have. I mean, lives.
I mean, it's obvious that they are more interested in their political ambition. I can confidently tell you right now, out of the 109 senators, 360 House of Reps members and about 1,205 State House of Assembly are currently not in Abuja. Where are they? They are currently in their constituency trying to seek for re-election, politicking open. Now, my problem, the problem with our leaders is they are more interested in politics than governance. Politics is the struggle for power, right? To get into who will elect you and all that, the campaign, the rigging of the election. That is what they are much more interested in. Governance, as far as I'm concerned, it is not abstract. Governance is not abstract. It is practical. It is about serving the people that stood under the hot, scorching sun to vote for you. But unfortunately, we have leaders who don't give a damn about the people that voted for them. All they are interested is, as a matter of fact, the moment you vote for a particular political holder, then the following day he starts campaigning for his next election. Currently, we have the former governor, Yaya Bello, who is seeking for an election for the Senate seat, currently politicking. If you ask me, I would say, I actually love Yaya Bello. Do you know why? Because I feel that Yaya Bello is a man of integrity.
That is very interesting.
His integrity is so preserved that you will need a forensic accountant to find it. Unlike Senator Natasha, whose integrity is displayed on social media. If you go on our Facebook page, you see where she is helping people, helping people, giving employment, and then installing Wi-Fi for our people. So I feel the good people of Kogi State should not vote for her. They should rather vote for...
Okay, so let's not divert from the main question of the day. So has governance in Nigeria been too focused on politics? Are they more focused on politics than their actual aim? I mean, you said earlier that if you if you vote for a politician today, the next day he's already planning his second tenure.
Yes.
So what can you exactly give us an in-depth on that?
Yes, their major concern is not about the number of people that are killed. Their major concern, it is about how they are going to get into power. Currently, right now, they are planning for 2027, and after they win the next thing, they start planning for 2031. So they are not concerned about governance. Rather, they are concerned about their political ambition. So that's what I feel. So they are not focusing, they are more about politics than governance for them. They don't care about the number of people that died in Zamfara or your state. They don't care about that. And it will surprise you to know that you hear about numbers of killing in different states. They won't even come out to even make a press statement. Our president.
Yes.
For example, our president, when there was a massacre in Jos, he was in Plateau State. And not because, for me, I feel personally, not because he even cared about the killing, but because of the social outcry, the international attention it got. And he was there for 10 minutes, and he was telling a grieving mother, a grieving father, a grieving brother and sister that lost his people in their family, in the massacre. He was telling them that he only has 10 minutes to spend, they don't have electricity, so he would rather be elsewhere. So that is the president, that is the precedent that our president has actually laid on ground. So if our president will do that, then what do you expect of the other politicians? So it clearly shows that they are only after their political ambition.
Exactly. Mr. Michael.
Yes.
The insecurity started from the north. If I can remember, this school kidnapping started from Chibok to Bauchi,
Yes.
Dapchi to be precise.
Yes.
Does it mean, now that it's in the southwest, we know the difference from the north, the distance from the north to the southwest.
Yes.
So are we saying that we ignore the signs, or we only take actions after it has happened, and we are not proactive enough?
No, if you ask me, I would say we don't only ignore the signs. First, we don't even care about the people first. I will not even say we ignore the signs. The signs are there. I remember, the former president, Sani Abacha, he said something. He said, any insecurity that lasts for more than 3 days has the hand of the government in it.
That is
yes, that is the truth. Now, it is not just about noting. They know the signs, they know what to do, but because they don't care about the poor masses. So when it started in the north, for example, a lot of people that were based in the southwest, like for example, I was based in the southwest, now I'm in Abuja. It was more like, and it's the northerners, it not really concern us in Pidgin, like we would say. So, but now, because we don't have a government that are proactive, it has now extended to the southwest, starting from Kogi. We have started killing in Oyo State. So that is to tell you that insecurity is the primary reason, the primary responsibility of any serious government. But it's unfortunate that we have a government who don't care. So they know the signs already. If they want to end this security, I can confidently tell you in the next 2 weeks they will end that security.
Okay. What might you say their reasons are for them not actually ending the insecurity? I mean, people are dying every day and everything, and they're focused on providing infrastructure, lights, and all of that while lives are being lost. I mean, who will use the infrastructures if there are no lives?
Exactly, because for me,
some communities are now exactly deserted.
For me,
some states.
For me, I feel it's part of the politics. The insecurity, the killing of people is part of the
life.
Yes, is what they basically do is to use the life of the people to play chess. If you ask me, to play politics with the lives of people. So they are not really interested in securing the lives of. Okay, what is the sole responsibility of a politician, a leader? It's to secure the lives and properties of its citizens, right? Now, if you provide a good road. For me, right, I feel the road is useless if kidnapper will block that road. Yes, if you provide hospitality for me and I can't get there, I can't arrive there on time because of the insecurity, then it is useless. So any politician that will provide a project for you without security is more or less insulting our integrity. Because security comes first, in as much as, yes, I know capital project, hospitality, good road, but the major challenges, the major primary...
Okay, I would like to cut you short and ask you the last question. I'd like you to be very brief on that. Okay, so do Nigerian leaders actually take action? Do they see the anger of the masses, or only when they see it go viral and their names are ignored? Is that when they actually take actions, when it's viral everywhere? Or
exactly,
when
that's what they do.
surge.
That's what they do. Exactly when it goes viral, when it begins to get international recognition. Like the case of Plateau said, I remember there was a white guy, some said he was a CIA agent and all that. When he came online, started calling the Nigerian government. That was when I think Bayo, the presidential level, the president came out and said, no, he wants to destabilize our country. I mean, if we have leaders that make the citizen feel safe, we will not have a foreigner coming to tell us about our insecurity. So I feel what they do is, there is no action. What they do is, they don't give a damn about anybody. They care more about their political ambition, how to secure the 2027 election.
Thank you very much, Mr. Micah. I'd like to cut you short there. We'd love to have you some other time. And that is all what we have today on Political Arena. Stay tuned for S24 Report.
A lot of young people are definitely going to be interested, especially young people, because they know everything, right? So these guys are going to be in organizations to tell that, look, don't do this, don't do that. If you see any link at all, just let me know what it is. Let me go through it. You know, they can monitor the inflow of network things coming in and coming out to make sure this is suspicious. They'll be able to relate it to you, the founder or whoever is in the organization, that look, do not click that link, it's suspicious, or even stop it from coming in. I think corporations that are producing phones are actually doing a good job in securing them for us. Honestly, if you think about it, right? You know, have two-factor authentication, you have security questions. Like, how will somebody know that if you didn't give it to them? So I pretty much think that, you know, corporations, but at the end of the day, there's still so much you can know as a person. You need someone that would help you monitor that is just what he does, you know? Because you don't know everything about your phone. You know, we might develop a device, but you honestly don't know everything about the device. You need someone that knows a lot, right? To help you, that even if you buy the most expensive iPhone that is pretty much unhackable, right? You still need somebody to help you and say, look, there are some links you do not click. There's some photos you do not view. There are some things you just don't do, just because, you know, and there are some security update that you still need to have installed with the device that is unhackable. You still need to install some security device so that somebody can monitor it, an expert can monitor the incoming flow of, you know, networks, unauthorized emails, and, you know, things that might cause any kind of harm to you. You still need people and you still need devices as well. So
I think it's fascinating, isn't it? Because as an old...
Sorry, I hope I answered your question.
That's perfect answer, actually. And it led me to this story about how, you know, if you wanted someone to maybe configure your new phone for you, my age, I'm 60, configure my new phone, I'd go to my sort of 27-year-old son who's an IT analyst and, you know, ask him for help. Or I remember my younger son, he set up a Zoom recorder, audio recorder for me by watching this professor from New Zealand on a YouTube thing. He touched a handbook. He just watched her going through an unboxing and setting up. But there's a worldwide brand called B&Q. I don't know if you've heard of it. They got a warehouse. They do lots of sort of home improvements and all that sort of. And their policy was to employ older people, particularly men, because you'd hung a door, you'd put a shelf up, you'd fix something. So they kind of went for the complete other. The digital is younger people, whereas the more practical skills around home improvements and stuff, they had a policy of recruiting older people. And I think it's fascinating. We forget about that, how certain sectors draw certain people. So I've got a couple more questions before we finish. One is, what's the greatest threat at the moment to Nigerian corporations? Does it come from overseas? You know, is it North Koreans? Is it Russian? Is it scam factories in Thailand? That kind of, or are a lot of the threats that maybe you see or you get called to consult on, are they from within Nigeria?
Oh, I've never heard of any threat that is a very, how do I put this now? I've never really heard about any you know, threat that has happened in Nigeria, especially when it comes to the cybersecurity space in Nigeria, you know, particularly. So it is a very interesting question. Probably need to make some research to answer that question, honestly. I feel embarrassed you even asking me that, because I never really heard.
I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because we, you know, if something happens back in the UK when I'm with someone and something happens and you go, oh, is it North Korea? Is it Russian? Is it a scam factory in Thailand? Again, which is very stereotypical, but that's the same stereotyping that goes back to Nigerians were the original scammers, not the only ones, you know. And it really makes you then think about, are we looking for a major threat to come from maybe a nation or whatever? And what we're actually forgetting about is just someone sitting at home, just generally fishing for passwords and hacking and stuff like that. So that low level criminality, I know it's serious for the corporation, but sort of low level as opposed to nation state sponsored cyber security. It's really interesting. And that leads to my other question, which was, we have a show here on S24 called Sahel Watch that we're developing. Sahel Watch, yeah. So we're looking at sort of, you know, the Sahel region, what's going on with Islamic State and its affiliates, you know, weapons coming down from Libya and Syria and stuff like that, which is leading to the insecurity that that Nigeria has, both in sort of, you know, Boko Haram, criminality and banditry in the north, which I reported on last November. Then you've got like the herdsmen, those kind of situations, and then obviously IPOP as well with that sort of Biafran layover, if you like, from that time, nearly 60 years ago. So do you see any of those people like Islamic State or the affiliates or stuff like it? Does any of that come onto your, you know, these forums you have with people where sort of, you know, certain criminal elements and stuff are accessing or trying to access information or money to finance what they do or anything like that? Is that something that gets reported on? Have you seen any of that in your general knowledge sector? It's interesting, isn't it?
I haven't seen anything in that regard, but I would say that, you know, as you were asking me this question, it made me remember something that I think is important for a lot of people to know. You know, when there is a general event like the Muslim event that comes on, like Salah period, you know, people generally use the opportunity to, you know, solicit for help, to reach out to the poor and stuff like that. And these are just people that are just trying to take advantage of the situation to make money for themselves. So they use the social media to promote helping the less privileged for the costs of the occasion of the event at the particular time, because, you know, Salah is for, you know, reaching out to less privileged and the rest. So they use that opportunity to, you know, reach out to the people that are touched and moved by what they see, and they want to contribute to the occasion or the event that is happening, the Salah thing, and they try to support. And when they send their money and support, it just goes to somebody that is just chilling in the west side of Africa, and just, you know.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to today's Tech Update. I'm Gladys Asukwo. Here are some of the biggest stories shaping the tech space right now. Firstly, we move to the Insurance Australia Group, popularly known as IAG, has launched a massive digital overhaul. The company is consolidating 15 separate websites into one unified digital platform. This move is expected to reduce operational costs, improve efficiency, and create a smoother customer experience through automated cloud-based systems. Moving to Nigeria, the Nigeria Communication Commission (NCC) has issued a warning to major telecom operators accused of frustrating the rollout of mobile virtual network operators, also known as MVNOs. The Commission says dominant telecoms must stop creating bottlenecks and allow fair competition within the industry. Still in Nigeria, the federal government has announced that telecom policy will no longer take decades to review or update. According to ministry officials, policy changes will now happen more frequently in order to keep up with rapidly evolving technologies, such as artificial intelligence and satellite communication systems. In the global market scene, Asian tech infrastructure companies JF Tech and SFP Tech are currently gaining strong momentum in daily market performance, drawing attention from investors and analysts across the region.
Back home, the Nigerian government, through the NCC, has unveiled a major telecom sector policy projected to generate over 1.6 trillion naira in revenue and create as many as 2 million jobs within the industry. The initiative is expected to strengthen infrastructure and expand opportunities across the tech ecosystem. And finally, smartphone demand is rising rapidly across South Asia. Recent logistic data shows record-breaking smartphone imports this month, largely driven by the growing demand for affordable 5G-enabled devices and chipsets. And that's all for today's tech updates. Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay connected, and do join us for more updates shaping the world of technology. Don't go anywhere. Khadija Mohammed is up next with the entertainment update you don't want to miss right after this break.
Hello, and welcome back from the break. This is your entertainment update for today. I am Khadija Muhammad. If today had a mood, it will be I'm fine, but clearly not fine. So let's just jump straight into the gist before reality starts buffing again. We've got celebrity warnings that sounds like group chat advice nobody asked for, food experiments that are questioning the laws of pastry, and a festival that looks like a spiritual fashion show with strict dress code, white only. So let's get into it. Actor and public commentator Yul Edochie has sparked fresh online debates after warning men to stay away from married women. His message sounded like advice, but the internet heard it, screenshot it, and immediately turned it into a full courtroom drama with no judge in sight. Some people call it wisdom, others call it selective accountability, and social media did what it does best, which is turning one statement into 48 hours of arguments and memes. And moving on, while relationship on Twitter is still doing debate championship, somewhere in Ibadan, someone said, let's focus on food instead of heartbreak. In Ibadan, a street vendor has gone viral after introducing a whole fish pie. Yes, an entire fish inside pastry. And just like that, Nigerians split into two. We have the team, This is Innovation, and the other team, Who Offended You in Life? But well, food bloggers are confused, chefs are emotionally disturbed, and Nigerians are debating it like it's a national policy issue instead of lunch. But while food arguments are still frying online, let's move on to Lagos. As we all know, Lagos is already moving like it's preparing for a royal Netflix premiere, which is the famous Eyo Festival. It remains one of the Lagos' most iconic cultural tradition, known for its all-white robed masquerade moving through the city in a symbolic procession. The festival is deeply tied to heritage, royalty, and spiritual expression. And it turns Lagos into something between history, performance acts, and a very organized parade where everyone agrees on one dress code, which is white and only white. At this point, Lagos doesn't do normal. It's actually do drama, culture, and chaos, and premium lightning. And that's your entertainment update for today. From relationship warnings that escalated into online cut session to fish pastry experiment nobody prepared for, and a cultural festival that turns streets into living history, today's gist has been everything at once. And coming up next is Sport News with Steven after the break.
Welcome back from that break. World Cup worries, record-breaking speed on track, and massive celebration in North London. Here's your latest sport updates from around the world. We begin in the United States, where fresh concern surrounds Lionel Messi ahead of the FIFA World Cup. The Argentina football team captain was substituted during Inter Miami CF's MLS clash against Philadelphia Union after appearing uncomfortable late in the match. Messi was seen holding the back of his left leg before walking straight down the tunnel, sparking fears among fans just weeks before the tournament. However, Inter Miami's coach quickly calmed concerns, insisting substitution was only precautionary due to fatigue and difficult playing condition. At 38 years old, Messi is expected to play in what could be his 6th World Cup as Argentina prepares to defend the trophy they won in Qatar. Now to athletics, where Olympic champion Messiah Russell has sent a strong warning to Nigerians Tobi Amusan after running the 2nd fastest women's 100-meter hurdle time in history at Yemen Diamond League. Russell stormed to victory in 12.14 seconds, just 200ths of a second behind Amusan's world record of 12.12. The American says she is determined to break the Nigerian star's record and believes it's only a matter of time. Amusan, meanwhile, finished 2nd with a second-best 12.28 seconds, continuing a strong build-up ahead of the championship season. Back to football now. And Arsenal has officially lifted the Premier League trophy after defeating Crystal Palace 2-1 at Soret Park. Goals from Gabriel Jesus and Noni Madueke sealed Arsenal's 1st league title in 22 years. The victory completed a remarkable campaign for manager Mikel Arteta, ending years of heartbreak and bringing the Premier League crown back to North London for the first time since the famous Invincibles era. Attention now turns to Europe, where Arsenal will face Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Champions League final later this month in Budapest. And finally, former Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney believes Chelsea could become serious title contenders again next season under new manager Xabi Alonso. Despite Chelsea finishing 10th and missing out on European football, Rooney says having fewer matches could actually help Alonso rebuild the team and challenge for the Premier League title. And that's your sports updates, where legend fights fitness battle, champions celebrate glory, and race for greatness never slows down. Coming up next is PG News.
Good afternoon, my country people. Today, now another day to chook eye for matter with the warriors for this country, and we go also chook eye for matter with the warrior every other person for their own country. This morning, we see say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't win APC presidential primary election. Say he don't ready to go run for 2nd term inside the 2027 election after he featured for a massive nationwide primary election where he impact total of 10.9 million votes. While in the give-in acceptance speech at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center for Abuja, the president constant to defend say the hard economy rules where in government they balance. He can talk say those changes must stand because now the only way to make Nigeria better and modernize the country again be that. Tinubu don't talk say he no go look further, come fold in hand, can't allow any opposition party when no get clear vision, make it can't drag Nigeria go backward or make it can't spoil the progress where in government don't already start to the build. Meanwhile, operatives of the Zone 2 Police Command don't scatter the plans of one heavy international drug business after they intercept one big container of Canadian loud, where they are very strong. They call them synthetic chemical strain of Igbo, where cost 7.8 billion naira. Inside one massive show of clean hand integrity, which surprised plenty people, the police officers flatly reject a whole 500 million naira cash. Bribe where the drug cartel bring, give them, make them look another face, allow the market pass. This one don't show say our police people don't ready do away with corruption. As we they talk so, police don't block the main ringleader of the group put for sale. And the police bosses talk say they expand their searchlight to catch every single person where they join hand inside this dirty drug business. Bandits don't do another one again. Fear don't enter one community for Kwara State after some wicked armed bandits go attack people where they do morning prayer over the weekend. The bad boys just open fire straight inside the place where people gather they pray, kill 3 worshippers on the spot before they move go burn down the palace of the emir. The bandits pack at least 15 villagers follow body enter bush. The Kwara State Police Command don't sharply deploy heavy and armed tactical teams and anti-banditry squads to village, make they hunt down the killers, bring peace back, and save all those people where they carry go, where they bring them back safely. Last-minute tension and confusion don't hit Nigeria education sector as the workers inside WAEC don't threaten say they go strike today. Because of their welfare and salary matter where government never settle, this strike threats don't make sharp fear catch thousands of students and parents where they worry say the wahala fit scatter the ongoing WASE exam where the children they write. Even though secret meeting, they go on behind closed doors to beg the workers may they change their mind. The main WAEC body don't give strong assurance, say make nobody shake because the exam will continue normal as they don't schedule them. For inside the world, we see say global oil price don't fall small as America and Iran don't ready to sign peace deal for China. All the whole world don't get hope and don't they smile as peace don't they surface because America and Iran, they don't reach final stage to sign major peace agreement inside Beijing, China, to end the heavy war where they cause wahala for world business. The deal where Pakistan help their middleman arrange go make the two countries open the big ocean road where they call Strait of Hormuz, where they don't block since